Today in our lesson we'll go through our intermediate course and unit 4. Here our second part, 4.2, forest bathing. Goals. Our goals here are talk about the natural world and talk about probability. Vocabulary and speaking. Natural world. Exercise 1A. Listen to two people who have each been to one of the places in the photos 1 to 4. Which one has he or she been to? Pause the video and try to do this exercise in a written form.
Audio 4.2. 1.
It was the end of September and a beautiful sunny day. Autumn is the most beautiful season here, and the leaves on the trees were beginning to turn golden in places. As we climbed through the forest, we enjoyed the fresh air and the smell of the soil. Moving slowly up the steep, winding path, we came to the edge of the forest, and suddenly we could see a gorgeous lake at the edge of a mountain range in the distance. The peaks and cliffs of the mountains were partly covered in snow, even at this time of the year. The scenery was just amazing.
2.
We had been walking all day, and it was slowly getting dark. We had seen gorgeous mountains with lovely greenery, refreshing waterfalls, and clear pools amongst the rocks. We had enjoyed playing in the pools in the hot sunshine, but at the end of the day, we had descended back into the valley. Walking down towards where we were staying for the night, the sunset was amazing. Beautiful and red, with the silhouettes of the palm trees in the distance. I don't think I've ever seen such a beautiful and unusual landscape.
Now let's check the answers. The first speaker has been to the place in picture 1 and the second has been to the place in picture 3. Exercise 1B. Which words helped you decide? Now after you have checked the answers, if your words are correct, if your answers are correct, find the reason why you chose the answer and what exactly helped you decide the correct answer. Exercise 2. Choose one of the other photos and make some notes describing it using the words in the box. Now pause the video and using the photos in the box, try to describe one of the videos. Exercise 3. Take turns to listen to your partner's description and decide which photo he or she is describing. Grammar and listening. Probability. Exercise 4. Read the quotation. What do you think might be the benefits of forest bathing? Discuss with a partner. Shirin Yoko, forest bathing is simply visiting the forest or other natural area and walking slowly, talking everything that you can see, hear, smell, or even taste. Pause the video and try to discuss the benefits of forest bathing in a written form on your paper. And now let's look at the possible answer. Well, there may be a lot of benefits of forest bathing in terms of psychology and physical health. The first one may be when you are walking, when you are in the natural area. Obviously, it has a fresh air, and we can breathe in this fresh air. You can inhale this fresh air, and you can get health benefits out of this. You can live longer. And in terms of psychology, you can relieve your stress. You can become calmer. You can become more relaxed, and this can lead to more productivity and other benefits. Exercise 5A. Listen to a radio interview and note down 3 benefits of spending time in green spaces. Now let's check the answers together. 1. If you live near a green space, you're more likely to be physically active. People who spend time in green spaces are less stressed and have better moods. A 30-minute walk in a forest can reduce depression and lower blood pressure. And 2-hour walk can also increase white blood cells, which help fight illness. Exercise B. Now compare your list with your partner. Exercise 6A. Work with a partner, look at the predictions and complete them with the numbers in the box. Pause the video and try to fill these gaps on your own in a written form. And now let's check the answers. 1. In the US, people now spend 8.5 hours a day looking at the screen, and this trend will definitely spread around the world as smartphones become more common. 2. The percentage of British people living in cities is likely to rise to 92% by 2030. 3. Countries such as Botswana, where in 1950 only 3% of people lived in a city, may end up in a similar situation. 4. Nowadays, 61% of Botswana's population lives in cities, and this percentage will probably rise further. 5. Walking in a forest for 30 minutes improves mood and might even stop you getting ill. 6. After a 2-hour walk, some people showed a 50% increase in their white blood cells needed to help fight disease. 7. The Japanese government will build 52 more forest bathing trails within the next 10 years, and other countries may follow. Exercise 6B. Listen and check your predictions one more time. Now listen again and check your answers one more time.
Audio 4.4. 1,
In the US, people now spend 8.5 hours a day looking at a screen, and this trend will definitely spread around the world as smartphones become more common.
2,
The percentage of British people living in cities is likely to rise to 92% by 2030.
3,
Countries such as Botswana, where in 1950 only 3% of people lived in a city, may end up in a similar situation.
4,
Nowadays, 61% of Botswana's population lives in cities, and this percentage will probably rise further.
5,
Walking in a forest for 30 minutes improves mood and might even stop you getting ill.
6,
After a 2-hour walk, some people showed a 50% increase in the white blood cells needed to help fight disease.
7,
The Japanese government will build 52 more forest bathing trails within the next 10 years, and other countries may follow.
Exercise 7A. Look at the sentences in exercise 6A, read the information in the grammar focus box and choose the correct options to complete the rules. Grammar focus. Will, may, might to talk about probability. Now we learn how to express probability with may, might, will. Modal verbs. We can use modal verbs will, may, might to talk about how sure we are about something. May, might suggest a smaller possibility than will. And here examples. Tomorrow I will work. Tomorrow I may work. Tomorrow I might work. Adverbs and adjectives. We can also use the adverbs probably, possibly, and definitely, and the adjectives likely and unlikely to give more information about how sure we are. And here examples. And I probably will go to market. I possibly will have lunch with friends. I definitely will work till night. It's likely that I will work till night. It's unlikely that I work till the afternoon. Definitely, probably, and possibly come after the main modal verb in positive sentences and before the modal verb in negative sentences. An example here, I may probably come late. I possibly may not be able to come. And here we have likely and unlikely are followed by infinitive plus to. It's likely to rain. I'm likely to be late. Exercise 7B. Compare your answers with a partner and give reasons for your choices. Pause the video and try to do this exercise in a written form too. pronunciation, intonation, and certainty. So we now learn how to improve our pronunciation levels to show certainty. Our intonation can often signal how certain we feel about what we are saying. And here, exercise 8a, listen to 4 statements and write them down.
Audio 4.5. 1.
This trend will definitely spread around the world. This trend will definitely spread around the world.
2.
The number is likely to rise. The number is likely to rise.
3.
This percentage probably won't rise much further. This percentage probably won't rise much further.
4.
People who live near green spaces are more likely to be active. People who live near green spaces are more likely to be active.
And now let's check the answers. 1. This trend will definitely spread around the world. 2. The number is likely to rise. 3. This percentage probably won't rise much further. 4. People who live near green spaces are more likely to be active. Exercise 8b. Answer questions 1 to 3. 1. In positive statements, does the stress fall or rise on the modal verbs will, may, might, or on the adverb? Probably, possibly, definitely. 2. Is it the same in negative statements? 3. Where does the stress fall in sentences using likely and unlikely? Pause the video and try to answer these questions in a written form. And now let's check the answers. 1. In positive sentences, the stress falls on the modal verb and rises on the adverb. 2. No, in negative sentences, the stress rises on the modal verb and falls on the adverb. 3. The stress rises on unlikely, likely, for example, adverb, and falls on the modal verb. Exercise 8b. Listen again and repeat. Now listen again. Listen to the audio again and repeat the sentences in order to improve your pronunciation level. Exercise 9a. Write the predictions so they agree with your own opinions about the future using a probability phrase. This from the grammar focus box. Pause video and try to make sentences using these words. And now let's check the possible answers. By 2030, 18 cities will definitely have more than 20 million inhabitants. 2. Pollution may probably increase. 3. Food prices will definitely rise as we need more space for people to live. 4. Food may be grown on the top of tall buildings. 5. Cities definitely won't have more green spaces. 6. People may not be able to get much fresh air. 7. Every block of flats may possibly have a communal garden. 8. People definitely won't spend as much time in nature. Exercise 9b. Compare your ideas with a partner. Give reasons for your opinion. Pause the video and give reasons for your opinion in a written form. Exercise 10. Task. Work in small groups and discuss your ideas. And here statements are: how often do you get out into green spaces? Can you describe a time when you did? What made it memorable? How important do you think access to nature and garden spaces is, and why? Do you think this access to nature will become more or less important in the future, and why? Pause the video and try to answer these questions in a written form. And now let's look at the possible answers. Well, I don't often get out into green spaces, maybe once or twice a month. And last time when I went to green space was a month ago when I took a stroll at night, and it was memorable because I was thinking about my plans, future aspirations and future goals, and it was one of the most energetic days of my life, and I had a really great time. And I think it's really important to have access to nature and green spaces because sometimes it can be really stressful in city life because it's too fast and people may need some rest from this kind of life, and these places may come in handy and may be really beneficial in this kind of situations. And I think access to nature will become more important in the future because the life is becoming intensifying. Technology is all around us and we're getting choked by this technology, and people will need some kind of escape from it. Maybe people will not have intuitive understanding of needing this thing, but we have to make them aware that by walking in the nature or by immersing themselves in nature, they can feel way better, or they can improve their mood. They can just become a better, a happier, healthier human beings. That's the end of our today's lesson. See you in the next lessons.